Yo, you already know it's King Heartless, the chosen one, right? Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. So, we talking about King David, right? So, King David thought his sins were going to get swept under the rug and no one was ever going to find out about what he did. So, he seen Bathsheba. He seen Bathsheba bathing, right? She was like taking a bath, right? And he seen her and he was like lustfully attracted to her at first, right? So he told one of his men to go get her so he could speak with her, right? And he ended up impregnating another man's wife, right? And when he found that out, he tried to get that man to sleep with Bathsheba before he went out to war so that he could cover up his sin and they wouldn't know that it was King David who got her pregnant, right? But that didn't work. He couldn't get his man to sleep with her because he knew he had to go out into battle. And obviously he wanted like his strength to go out into battle. So he didn't sleep with his wife, right? And so King David found out another plan. So what he did was he sent him to the front lines. He sent him to the front lines to die. And he ended up dying. So basically King David committed murder, right? And God sees everything, especially the king of Israel at the time. God was definitely keeping an eye on him, you know what I mean? Because he already seen what happened with Saul, but he knew David was after God's heart, right? So David thought everything was good, you know what I'm saying? Her husband, Bathsheba's husband, died, and King David, you know, they had a baby, right? They had a baby, and the prophet came to King David and was like, David, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? Because God talks to the prophets to talk to the kings, you know what I'm saying? So he was talking to the prophet, and the prophet was like, David, we see what you've done. God sees everything. He's seen what you've done. You've committed adultery. You've done all this and all that. And he told David, yeah, God's going to kill your son, or God's going to kill the baby. I think it was a son, right? He's going to kill the baby, right? Boom. Killed. I said boom. But yeah, God gonna kill the baby. So the baby, right? The baby ended up dying, right? But King David fasted for like 7 days to get God to try to change his mind, but God didn't change his mind. But the prophet also told David that your baby's gonna die, but you're gonna have another baby. So because God still loves you, you know what I'm saying? So God's grace on David. God had grace on David, bro, and David's family ended up having the Messiah, bro, at one point. So that's what David's family was. His bloodline would have a king that ruled all kings, you know what I'm saying? So that's what King David's story was like. King David was a good man, but he made bad mistakes. He made bad sins, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was jealous because another man, he was jealous because he wanted another man's wife. So that was one of his big downfalls that he had. You know what I mean? But him killing people in the army and all that, like him being a warrior for God, that was all justified because God's people were under attack by an enemy army. So, I mean, they had soldiers and it was wartime, you know what I mean? There's times of war and there's times of peace. And that was a time of war, bro. When Samson started it off, Samson killed 1,000 Philistines by himself with a jawbone of a donkey, right? And he ended up destroying the palace, but that just kicked it off. It just showed people, that awakened the Israels to fight back against the Philistines. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot, bro. Like, people just think the Bible is like this thing that you go to church, you just sit down and you just listen to some guy talk about the Bible, but it's really deeper than that, bro. Like, it's really like a history book that shaped the way that life is today. You know what I mean? Like, it shaped the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of inspiring stories in the Bible, bro. Like, what Abraham, right? Abraham got tested. Abraham was getting tested by God. So Abraham God told Abraham to sacrifice his own son. So what he did was he took Isaac and tied him up, was about to stab him, right? His own son, because God told him to. And then as soon as he was about to stab him, God said, Abraham. And he was like, he looked, you know what I'm saying? And then he didn't stab his son, and that's how he passed the test, you know what I mean? Because he was willing to do whatever it was for God. And he's the father of the Israelis, not the Israelis, the Hebrews, the father of the Hebrews. I just call it the Israelis because that's the name of the country now, but it's really the Hebrews, you know what I'm saying? The Hebrews, everything in the Bible is written about the Hebrews, bro. Like, the Hebrews got spread across the whole world now, bro, but everything in the Bible, bro, is about the Hebrews, God's chosen people, you know what I mean? Like, the chosen people that God chose to fight his war, to fight his battle, to fight his mission. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, you know what it was, bro? King Heartless, the chosen one. You already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.